My name is Ari Fluelling, edtech Ari, and I'm here at the Q Live stage with Leslie Fisher.
Yay! Sorry.
So we're here on the last day of Q, and we are going to talk a little bit about just kind of the things that Leslie is working on and how she is impacting the world of educational technology.
Aw.
So if you could, just let everybody know a little bit about the work that you're doing, and I know you do a lot with emerging technology, so I would love to hear that, and I think the audience would too.
Oh, thank you. And first of all, thank you for having me here. Thank you for this. And hi to everyone. I am based out of Southern California, so it's a wonderful thing for me to get to be here and to get to see my educator friends. And really what I try to do is, I know that a teacher's life is very packed. A teacher's life is very busy. And I don't want to sit there and I don't want to give the teacher something that's going to take a while to implement into the classroom. I want to give the teacher something that they can implement easily and that the students are going to have fun with. Because if we can make learning as fun as possible, then it's going to be fun for the students, it's going to be fun for the teachers. And then we have people like Davidson that just walk by. Hold on.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Hello, Mom. How are you?
Good. This is called Q Live Hugging. Hi, honey. How are you?
That's why it's live. See you later.
Bye, honey.
Let's talk.
Let's talk. Seeing that we've been in 3 different locations in that.
We're just in McCall together.
We were, and then you were in Abu Dhabi. Why weren't I in Abu Dhabi with you?
I'm looking for you.
And why are you taking pictures of urinals?
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I did. You should Q Live. What?
Who signs their name on a urinal?
Well, someone that you were taking a picture of. Okay, so guys, you need to go to his Twitter. Love you, honey. You need to. It's him Abu Dhabi. If I can try to give the teachers tools that they can implement quickly and the students can enjoy, great. The other thing is, I want to do this in a quick way that isn't going to bore them when they listen to me to present. So if they don't like the tool, they wait a little bit. And I also try, for example, Kahoot, something that most everyone knows. I'm going to still show it just in case they don't know it, but my goal is to show the newest and the coolest, and even talk to the Kahoots of the world and talk to them and say, what are some great ways you think that other educators are using your product, and then share that with educators. So that's my goal.
That's great. I really like that. So for those of people in the audience that may not know, what about what you're doing qualifies as emerging? Because there's so many things that come out in the technology space.
It's a buzzword.
Yeah, so how do you interpret the buzzword, and how does that play out in your sessions? Because your session right now was jam-packed.
It was, and I love that. And for me, this conference for me is pure energy. There's a feel, there's a buzz about this conference that I've only had 3 hours of sleep, and I'm just floating on a cloud because of the educators and what they are. So for me, emerging are those things that you might not know about that are out there right now. And the interesting thing is I can look at emerging. I showed, for example, Smarty Pins with Google, which people haven't heard about. And it uses Google Maps, and it asks quiz questions, and you have to guess the location they're talking about. I hadn't heard of it. It's been out since 2014. Most of the audience hadn't heard about it. And then when I was walking around, they're all playing Smarty Pins. So that's kind of emerging technology. If people don't know about it, but it plays a good role, that's emerging technology to me. What's out there that people don't know about that might make a good impact in their class? That's how I define it.
Great, I really like that. And I think too, it brings it back to the classroom, which is so important, because sometimes these buzzwords and definitions, they're made up by people that aren't even in the classroom. So it's great to see it grounded in where it should be.
And for me, it's all about, really, we always say this, it sounds like a buzzword in itself, but isn't it all about the student? And for me, it's all about the student learning. And I don't honestly care how that student learns. As long as any laws aren't being broken, if the kid learns in a unique way, let the kid learn in a unique way. And I also believe that we need to embrace our individual learners, which is why I like to show a lot of tools, because something that works perfectly for you might not make sense for me. So that's why we need to introduce as many things as possible, where a lot of people say, it's just a tool. Heck no, it's just a tool. That's like saying you're just a teacher. You need those tools to be the best teacher you can be and have that impact on that student. And if they're an individual learner, you're going to need to have different kinds of tools for different kinds of students.
No, I completely agree. And I think you just kind of touched on it a little bit with that answer, but really I can tell how passionate you are about working with teachers. So what got you started in working with teachers, and what keeps you going with working with teachers?
Well, first of all, it's what the teachers what keeps me going. It is their passion, it is their commitment, it is their dedication, it is watching them work the crazy hours that they work, spending money to outfit a classroom that would be bare without their own money. The teachers inspire me. Plain old flat out, they inspire me. And yesterday was my 20th anniversary of my company, and I couldn't think of a better place to be than helping teachers. I never had the guts to be a teacher. Kids scare me. Kyle and Elizabeth were with their kid, and she brought the kid by, and I ran the other direction. Kids scare me. But I know at the same point, education is so important to our kids. So I figure what I'm doing is a cop-out, that if I can help educate the ones that have more guts to educate kids, if I can get to them, then they can get to those little creatures that scare the snot out of me, that are basically our future. And one of the other reasons I do this is I never enjoyed school. And I'm hitting 50 in June. So I was in school when technology was the film reel that came in. And I love technology. And it turns out I'm a little dyslexic. I never knew it in school. I struggled all through school. I didn't enjoy it. And I'm a visual learner. And I know if I had the tools available today when I was a student, I would have had a completely different outlook on school. It turns out I'm a lifelong learner. I love to learn. I just didn't have the tools in my hands. So if I can once again try to introduce things that will take the Leslies that are in the classroom right now and give them a tool that makes them realize that education could be fun, sign me up. And that's why I do what I do.
So I know we have different tools for different learners, but what are like your top 3 tools right now that you are just all over the moon about?
Well, for me, part of it is what can I make the teacher I would say what the biggest 3 tools would be like the Kahoots of the world, those kind of things. But in terms of ones that I know that people don't know about is Smarty Pins is great. The other one is Quick Draw with Google, which is just really popular. It just came out a few months ago, and it lets people doodle, and it's just really fun and enjoyable. For me, I'm going to go right back to I use a Live Scribe pen, which is when I'm in a class and I'm listening, I can record them talking, and when I write, it synchronizes their speaking with my writing. So if I'm not writing fast enough, I can go back and tap on the note and hear what they were saying. That works great for me. The other one that works great for me personally is Evernote, because what will happen is I just had 5 educators share with me some of their favorite Web 2.0 sites, and I have another 5 educators waiting to get a selfie. So what I can do is I clip web pages to Evernote all the time. I can then open up that clip note and go in and add it, and it's great. If we look at that from a student standpoint, Google Keep is something that has been updated, and it's getting better and better. Google Keep is great for a student to be able to synchronize notes across the device. So there's a lot out there. I mean, there's those ones that have been the foundation. I will mention, because they're here, a shout out to Squirrels. I mentioned them in Web 2.0, something called Class Hub, which is a student management system, which can actually push all the screens to the teacher, as well as push the teacher's screen to their devices, load apps. And I'm really excited about that, because that's kind of been a gap where we haven't had a good student management system. So I'm kind of excited about that. So those are a couple of them. There's a lot out there. I always love when people say we've never had a better time to be in education technology. We're always going to be at the top of education technology. Wouldn't be education technology if we weren't always in the moment living at the best of education technology. So lucky for us, hopefully we'll always be in the front of it. So.
No, I completely agree. So where can we find you on social media so that way we can connect with you and continue to learn with you?
Well, thank you. And also because I am Southern California based, I'm lucky to say that a lot of school districts here use me for PD and their back to school events. So my website's my name, lesliefisher.com. I'm on Twitter at Leslie Fisher, spelled just like it sounds, LESLIEFISHER. And I'm even on Facebook, 3,000 crazy Facebook friends that we have a lot of fun together. I put about the number of 2,000 of them being educators. And what's so much fun is we love to educate each other. And so I have a new session called The Google You Might Not Know About. And I posted on Twitter, which feeds in my Facebook, I just shared with you a bunch of tweets about Unknown Google. What are your favorites? And I had about 50 comments from teachers sharing their favorite things, which I'm going to now put on Twitter. So I'm very lucky to have the education community. We're just very lucky to have educators because they have a goal to educate. And when they do that and they get to someone like me who speaks to teachers for a living, it's going to do nothing but help build and get that word out. So I love educators. They want to educate and I want to learn. So.
Well, thank you for all that you
Thank
do
you.
for
Thank
educators.
you.
We really appreciate it.
And thank you, Q.
Thank you, Q. And we hope you have a great Q experience watching Q Live. Check out the other videos on the channel. And don't forget to go to Facebook Live to check out the keynotes that we had this year. They were fantastic. So thank you so much again.
Thank you,
and
hon.
I hope people check you out on social media.
I hope so as well. Thank you, guys, and thank you, hon.
Have a great night.
Bye.